Like it, don't like it, jump up, beauty, right at 4 in the morning, when a drone flies into the center of Krasnodar and rattles an explosive alarm clock all over the cave. On May 25 to 26, already in 6 regions of Skrapostan, something flew in, exploded and burned. Mukhnatikov begins to touch. They talk about their awesomeness and show trembling hands. And this is not a serious attack, but a warm-up. A sabotage group entered the border Belgrade region, took a walk, shot and left. It turned out that the beauty was not yet protected from the rear, and if desired, the saboteurs could capture a warehouse with tactical nuclear weapons. At the same time, official Kyiv stated that this group operated in the Belgrade region on the principle of autonomy and had nothing to do with Ukrainian intelligence. On the one hand, it's good that the beauty begins to shake, but on the other hand, it's as if the zealous Avengers do not overdo it. After all, agreements with Western allies were reached long ago. Ukraine receives assistance only in the status of a liberating country. The seizure of foreign territories is unacceptable. Schematosis and hybridity are the lot of the aggressor, and it is not worth using the devil's arsenal. However, the war is already grimacing on its own, and it does such things on adrenaline that you can't blame it. Joe Biden announced the change of the head of the U.S. General Staff. Mark Milley's place was taken by Charles Brown, who is already playing an important role in transferring military aid to Ukraine. And the United States is ready to announce a new package of military assistance to Ukraine worth $300 million. It is assumed that it will consist mainly of ammunition, in particular, guided missiles for HIMARS installations. The effectiveness of modern weapons is confirmed every day. Footage appeared on the network as a naval drone of the armed forces of Ukraine strikes the reconnaissance ship Ivan Kurs of the Russian Black Sea Fleet. As a result, there are dead. The ship itself has received serious and may even sink. Ivan Kurs is essentially a large naval station for electronic intelligence and electronic warfare. He was supposed to help the Russians shoot down Storm Shadow, HIMARS, ATACMS. Now, at best, he will have a long repair, and at worst, an eternal underwater parking. The governor of the Kursk region Starovoyt called for distributing weapons to residents. Like it, don't like it, defend yourself, beauty. Feeling the approach of stars from the armed forces of Ukraine, Prigozhin urgently took his handsome zombies out of Bakhmut, leaving the invincible Pokemon Bieber and Dalek on the front. And the drunken clown Medvedev gave a fresh reprise without having a bite. Sooner or later, Kyiv will have to negotiate. Everything always ends with negotiations. Okogilovich misses the point. Such crimes end in a sentence, and it will not be announced in the Basmany court. The Hague is already waiting for a bald man, and he will definitely be interested in Dimon. Either way, the competent authorities have already focused on the natives of the cave, pleasantly settled in Europe. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Finland obliged the country's banks to provide data on deposits of Russians and Belarusians over €100,000. The decision is related to a request from the European Commission to update the templates with information on deposits subject to sanctions provisions. The Polish Sejm has submitted a bill to amend the country's constitution, which will legally confiscate frozen Russian assets. At the same time, Poland has already frozen the property of Russian oligarchs for more than €1 billion. Schematists are under pressure, depriving them of optimism for the future. On Friday, Japan announced new sanctions against Russia that include freezing the assets of Russian individuals and groups, a ban on the export of goods to Russian military organizations, and a ban on the export of construction and engineering services to Russia. The new sanctions package adds 17 individuals and 78 organizations, frozen assets. The only thing the cave can snarl at is nuclear weapons, which have already been delivered to Belarus, which Lukashenko, who suddenly turned pink, said with a smile of a maniac. Putin confirmed the information about the transfer of the Aleksandr complex to Minsk and the re-equipment of 10 aircraft of the Belarusian Air Force for the use of nuclear weapons. The conclusion is simple: even if Ukraine reaches the borders of 1991 and formally wins, if Putin remains in power, his empire will hide and prepare for a new war, for a final revenge, but already on a nuclear turn. So the raging furry beauty will have to be strangled in the arms of the world. From the east, China, from the west, sanctions. Like it or not, but these are the conditions for the further survival of human civilization.